Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the holiday version of Progressive Discussions. This is King Krampus, if you didn't already know. But then again, many of you Americans today are so stupid, Dummkopfs. You wouldn't know the real Krampus if I was in front of you biting you on the nose, but you'll sure know me if I stuffed you in my knapsack and I kidnapped you and tortured you, because you're a bunch of spoiled, coddled Dummkopfs. You're morons. You know nothing about anything nowadays. You're imbeciles. You're numbskulls. Just look at the last election, November of 2016. 63% of Americans did not vote. It's despicable. Such a stupid society, you Dummkopf Americans. But anyway, this is Krampus. This is King Krampus. So I just want to say happy winter solstice, Yule, happy Festivus, and most importantly, happy Krampus Day of 2017. Okay. Many cowards were supposed to go on Progressive Discussions and do a special holiday 2017 show, but they all made excuses. They chickened out. They usually have a lot to say privately. They send the management of Mega Life 21 Progressive Discussions many private emails and inboxes on social media, on let's say Facebook, right? They have a lot to say. They complain, they rant, they rave, they give facts that make a lot of sense, but it's all private. It's all private. What good is private? You're pussies. You have no balls. You have raisin balls. You're not real progressive warriors. You have raisin balls. You're worthless, spineless, pusillanimous pipsqueaks. Okay? You have everything to say privately, but you'll never make any comment publicly. Or, heaven forbid, you should show your ugly mugs on video. Oh, forget it. They're too scared to do that. But anyway, this is King Krampus just telling you that, yes, Jesus was not born in December. Your so-called Christmas is based on pagan traditions, just like all of the popular holidays that are designed for the scamming, rip-off, blood-sucking, vampire behaving retail industry in the United States with their lying, deceiving commercials on TV. That's what they're designed for. The candy companies, the florists, the greeting card companies, and the worst of all, the fine jewelry industry in the United States with those nauseating commercials. You know, the K Jewelers, the Jared commercials. A diamond, I got news for jewelry designer Miss Wang. I don't know, I don't remember her first name. Vera Wang, I think her name is. I got news for her. A diamond is not love. A diamond is part of the materialistic society that too many people embrace. It is part of the material world. The diamond is advertised by all these companies are low-grade diamonds. There are so many diamonds mined by the De Beers Diamond Mining Company in South Africa that they have to actually control the exportation of these diamonds. These diamonds are no longer truly the precious stone. A diamond is not forever. It's all in the mind. It's all propaganda by American retail. The diamonds you get in fine American fine jewelry stores are usually low grade. They are not investment quality. Investment quality diamonds are crystal clear, free of inclusions. Okay, you won't be able to afford them. Probably, possibly only the top 20%, or even top 2% can afford them, but not you. You are getting low-grade diamonds with imperfections, some of them visible to the naked eye. You are being overcharged. You are being ripped off, paying thousands of dollars, thinking that the phony baloney, fake fraud diamond jewelry will buy love when you give it to your significant other, and then when you try to liquidate it a few years from now, they offer you next to nothing compared to what you paid for it. It is a scam. Even a gift card is a scam. Why would a gift card that is supposed to be a gift, it is meant to be a gift, right? You're paying so much money for a gift card because you're going to give it as a gift for the holidays, right? Why does a gift card need to have a little fine print disclaimer in the back saying that there is an expiration date on a gift card? Well, that's a scam, because when it expires, guess what? The gift card is worthless, and the company that you purchased the gift card from gets to keep your money. It is a retail scam. Retail is very sleazy, very underhanded. But now that the Republicans are in control in Washington, all sleazy, underhanded, lying corporations are deregulated, and they're allowed to lie and deceive and screw the consumer. You fools are totally deceived and screwed. Okay, this is the problem. You do not have the educated consumer. You have a bunch of lemmings led by the nose, a bunch of fools. They are suckered into feeling guilty if they do not go into debt this time of year for the so-called pagan Christmas. If they do not go into debt, they feel that they will not be loved and appreciated by their so-called loved ones and significant others. You do not have to be a fool and go into debt to purchase the love from your relatives that you really don't see all year. People go through the motions. They come around during this time of year, and then you don't see them. You don't hear from them. In a materialistic world, you really there should be no price tag on who cares about you and on love. Okay, but the sleazy retailers will have you believe that you must be suckered into buying the very expensive video games for your children, robotics, possibly going into debt, spending several hundred or thousands of dollars on these very expensive high-tech games and toys to win the love of your children. And like I said before, the low-grade fine jewelry that is really should not be called fine jewelry for your significant other. It's a scam. You can actually see the imperfections with a magnifying glass if you really paid attention. Okay, excuse me, but my camera person did not tell me that my crown, the crown of King Krampus, was on improperly, and he will be punished later. Oh, he will be punished by the fury and retribution that is King Krampus. Now, getting back to raisin ball pussies, pusillanimous pipsqueaks, cowards that are afraid to go public with their views and opinions here on Progressive Discussions. But anyway, I would like to say Merry Winter Solstice, Yule, Happy Festivus for the rest of us, and Happy Krampus Day to all of the staff of Mega Life 21 and Progressive Discussions. And I thank you for allowing me, King Krampus, to host Progressive Discussions here in the Mega Life 21 recording studio. I have some of the props here. 7 lucky bells for Progressive Discussions. Okay. And that's about it. I'm not going to use any other props. But I want to talk about social media. I want to talk about social media as it applies to Facebook with that the big-nosed Zionist, the hawk-nosed Mark Zucker geek, the control freak that probably got beat up by all the jocks in school. The football players probably threw him into a dumpster. They probably beat him up because he was a fucking geek. Okay, he's on a power trip because I know of people that are being targeted just because they tell the truth. They reveal the real hard-hitting truth, so they're targeted. They're targeted with antagonistic tactics like banning and blocking these individuals from posting and uploading on, let's say, Facebook groups. Some of these individuals happen to be administrators on such groups, but they're continuously blocked. Now, they're told when they're going to be free again from Facebook prison. But guess what? Lo and behold, as soon as they're freed, they're back in Facebook prison again. Interesting. And then about a month goes by, they come out of Facebook prison, they're blocked again. So now, from what I understand, they cannot appeal. They don't get a reply from any appeal to Facebook. They just continuously get blocked over and over. These are people that are generally more or less progressive warriors. They're proactive progressive warriors. They tell the real hard-hitting truth, and they're being persecuted by the organization, the company that bombards everyone with spam day and night nonstop. Now, these people that are being blocked on these Facebook groups are accused of spamming their own groups. How preposterous is that? It's insane. Why would an administrator of a Facebook group that they possibly created, why would they want to spam their own group? It's totally insane. It's the cheating that goes on in a right-wing corporate fascist oligarch system that we have today. An oligarch, a right-wing evangelical zealot, counterfeit Christian, underhanded, lying, cheating, greedy, and stingy right-wing oligarch government and society controlled by the biggest scumbags who will ever live, which is a corporate American CEO. The very tools of Satan himself. These people are part of the so-called rigged system that we have in the United States. So this is the very system that deregulates companies, corporations, to do whatever they want, to lie to the consumer, to cheat the consumer, removing consumer protection laws, removing labor laws that were established by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and for good reason. He wanted to defang these evil demons. Some demons are cool, like yours truly, King Krampus, of course. But the corporate American CEO is a true demon, and FDR wanted to defang them, and as well as other great politicians in history, Teddy Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, and John F. Kennedy, okay, to defang the demons. This is why we have regulations. But of course, you inbred, zealot, evangelical, imbecilic morons in rural America, okay, you evangelical freaks, you had to go and vote Republican. People living in shacks like in Wolfe County, Kentucky, without a pot to piss in, had to re-elect the ugly old turtle-faced Mitch McConnell. You right-wing redneck evangelical zealot freaks up in Wisconsin had to re-elect Paul Ryan. But then again, you have Scott Walker too, right? I loathe Wisconsin. You should take some very valuable lessons from your neighbor, progressive state of Minnesota, that is very prosperous because it is a true progressive state. See, King Krampus is educating you right now. I really appreciate being able to utilize this studio, okay? And this is where we're at. 63% of Americans did not bother to vote. Voter apathy. This shows how selfish, self-absorbed, and hedonistic Americans are. You should be ashamed of yourselves. 63% did not bother to vote in last November's 2016 election. Remember, every time an average mainstream American does not vote, the forces of evil receive an additional vote. And when I say forces of evil, I mean the right wing. So King Krampus is educating you idiots out there, because you really are a sorry bunch of humanoids, entities. You are lemmings. You are fools. You are like the person, the idiot that keeps on shooting himself in the foot over and over again. Every time the wound gets healed, that you keep shooting yourself in the foot. Less and less Americans vote during every major election. Now, getting back to Facebook. Facebook, the main office has a phone number. If you dial the phone number, you don't get a human being. They refer you to the help section on Facebook, which solves nothing. It solves nothing, because your questions never get answered. Your appeals are never replied to. You get no replies whatsoever. Facebook is so obsessed with offending someone because, of course, they cannot spam them. That's one less person that they will be able to spam and exploit. So, but they'll accuse you of spamming and they'll block you if you are revealing a bit too much of the real hard-hitting truth. You see, they will block you. So it is really a rigged social media company. I do not see this type of drama on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube and Google. No, it only seems to be on Facebook. Oh, by the way, when MySpace was the most popular, people were able to do many more things on their MySpace profile than on a Facebook profile, which is very boring and plain looking. Okay, there were many other positive options on MySpace, you know, but I guess Tom of MySpace, the other pencil neck geek, decided to sell out. But I mean, you can't be too shocked about the things that the forces of evil does, because that's what they do. They're the forces of evil. If somebody is a natural born imbecile, like an inbred redneck zealot evangelical, I votes Republican, but out of pot to piss in, well, they don't have too many brain cells left. They're brain cell deficient, so we expect them to behave a certain way. But these so-called progressive geniuses who try every day to show how brilliant they are on social media, let's say Facebook, right? Or Twitter also, and they type, and they type, and they try to impress everyone and show you how brilliant they are. But when the major election time comes, they do not vote. Oh no, they're too self-absorbed in their hedonistic lifestyle. They're too selfish. Oh, they want to party. They just want to party. They feel that politics is boring to them. Well, guess what? You just shot yourself in both feet many times over. And now you will have to pay. You will have to suffer for it. Okay. And you people out there that keep everything private and you will not make any public statements, well, guess what? You people are cowards, number one. You're most likely ass-kissing company people, the type that are known as brown nosers, sycophants, those that polish the apple, the company person, the conformist. You are a conformist. You are a spineless coward because you have a lot to say in private, but never in public. Okay. You know what? Krampus is going to be so busy this year. I have other Krampettes that have to help me out. Okay, actually, I'm getting a cramp right now just thinking about all the extra hard work that King Krampus has to accomplish this year in 2017. But I hope you learned something, really. I hope you learned something when New Year's 2018 rolls around. I hope your New Year's resolution is to educate yourself or possibly acquire the brain cells that you have lost mainstream America, maybe through a hyperbaric oxygen chamber or maybe through psychedelic mushrooms, which I hear grow brain cells whatever your method, you really need to regain your brain cells and to learn how to think in the 21st century for once in your life. Think. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a so-called brilliant progressive liberal. You don't want to be a neoliberal because they're just as bad as a neoconservative. But at least use common sense and think and make the right decisions. Have your own best interests at heart. Do not support people that only work for the top 2% of the income population. Okay. Do not do that. Do what's best for the lower 98%. Do not be a Dummkopf, an idiot. I'm celebrating Christmas Eve. Pagan Christmas Eve. Actually, merry winter solstice Yule. I bite my tongue when I say Christmas Eve because Jesus was not born in December. I'm celebrating with a double shot dark spice rum coquito with coconut milk and cream of coconut. Okay, and I have a wonderful, imported from Germany, Deutschland. I have a wonderful butter almond Stollen, which for you Dummkopfs that do not understand, do not know what Stollen is, it is traditional holiday dessert. It is a cake that is very rich and heavy and wunderbar. When you pick it up, it feels like a cinder block. And mine is great. It is butter almond. And I will enjoy it just like I will enjoy punishing and torturing all you pusillanimous, pipsqueak, pigeon-livered cowards out there that are not true proactive, progressive warriors. And those that have everything in the world to say privately, but never publicly. And most importantly, these so-called brilliant progressive liberals that do not vote. You're worthless, you're scum. You're scum, you're worthless, you're wastes of sperm. Just like the wastes of sperm that have avoided to become a guest or a co-host with the one and only King Krampus. There's only one King Krampus. By the way, I am very pissed off that on Netflix, there are no Krampus movies in the genre of horror movies. None whatsoever for people to watch. They're still charging people for even the original Krampus movie that came out in 2015. The greed of American capitalism, which is crapitalism. It is the devil's economics. For real. Okay. As I can see, no one from the social media of Facebook that knows the upper management of Mega Life 21 Progressive Discussions, Newsletter Censored, none of them has attempted to come onto the show. You're all spineless scum. You should be snapped in half. You should be tortured by King Krampus himself. You are wastes of sperm, true wastes of sperm. But aside from all of this, I am very happy to promote and celebrate winter solstice, Yule, happy Festivus for the rest of us. The airing of grievances followed by the feats of strength. And don't forget the aluminum pole. And also, most importantly, my holiday, the only true holiday of the entire year that makes sense, is Krampus-Day. I believe it technically, traditionally, it's supposed to be December the 14th, but I claim the entire month of December as the month of Krampus, the new king of winter. Okay. I am the king of winter. I am also, well, I could be the king of fall too, because I enjoy All Hallows Eve and the Day of the Dead, All Souls Day, followed by November 2nd, the Day of the Dead. I love that holiday. And I just want to give a shout out to all Mexican Americans and Mexicans that celebrate the Day of the Dead properly. Okay. They're great holidays. But I am the king of December. I am the king of all holidays. Okay. Because you fools have been lied to with the sole purpose of getting you to part with all of your money and go into debt by sleazy American retail. That's all, the only reason why you have these holidays. Same thing with pagan Easter, the Easter bunny, the Easter eggs, Ishtar, the whole thing, the fertility goddess. It's all designed for retail to make a profit. Greeting cards, flowers, same thing with St. Valentine's Day massacre on our wallets, the men of the world. The St. Valentine's Day massacre on our wallets. What else? The candy companies, of course, florists that rip people off. It's all part of retail. But there are conformists, there are suck-ups, there are ass-kissers, there are sycophants that are afraid to speak their mind because they're afraid that if they buck the system, they will be criticized, they will be disliked, they won't be loved anymore. Interesting. Spineless jellyfish, okay, that are afraid that someone will be offended. Well, I am here to set you straight. King Krampus is here to tell you the real truth. And it has been an absolute pleasure to welcome the new year, okay, next week, 2018. God help us all. Ha 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 ha. God help you. Oh boy, you're in big trouble. You better vote next November 2018, that's for sure. King Krampus is giving you an order. You better vote next November of 2018, or forget it. Your Titanic will also sink. You'll sink. The whole country will sink. Especially the lower 98% that will be cast into slavery. You know, I mean, don't you realize why you're sinking into poverty by our system, or by the United States system? I of course, am from Germany. The United States system is rigged to impoverish the middle class, to put the tax burden on the middle class. The new Republican tax bill is designed to satisfy the wealthy top 2% donors, okay, and put in even more of a stranglehold and tax burden on the middle class, further impoverishing the middle class, turning them into the poor, and then making the poor desperate so they will become slaves. So they will end up homeless and arrested for vagrants, and they will end up in these corporate privatized prisons working as free, legalized slave labor, the bringing back of slavery by the right wing. It requires the intellect of Krampus to educate you Dummkopfs out there. You make me sick. You Americans today make me sick. And I'm very shocked at you worthless waste of sperm millennials. You also make me sick because if you would have voted last November of 2016, everyone, if everyone would have gotten out and voted, women, college-age kids, the millennials, people of color, uh, everyone would have gotten out and voted. Not only would the United States will be sitting pretty good right now for the lower 98% of the population, the mainstream America would have been very happy, very prosperous, very content. But you would have ensured a very positive future for yourselves. But no, you couldn't do that. You had to be selfish. And you had to refrain from voting, you stupid bastards. You couldn't do it. You had to be selfish. You had to think about partying and feeling good in your hedonistic lifestyles. Okay, because the mainstream America, if mainstream America votes, the right wing never gets elected. Never gets elected if the mainstream America votes. And voter suppression, well, okay, it's not honest to allow gerrymandering. That's true. What's even worse is voter ID that the right wing tries to force upon the poor and people of color. All you really need is your digital photo driver's license, because in order to acquire that digital photo driver's license, you have to submit your original birth certificate. So therefore, the digital photo driver's license is all you need to prove that you are legally a citizen and able to vote. Okay, that's all you need. And of course, the passport card. Your passport is also a great form of ID. You don't need to spend extra money on voter ID. That is cheating by the Republican Party. That is a scam. That is flim-flam. Snake oil charlatans is what it is. All you need are those two. You got digital photo driver's license and or your digital photo passport. That's all you need to vote. You don't really need a so-called voter ID card. So that's another way that they cheat. Apparently, cheating is legal amongst the right wing. But what amazes me are the poor fools, the suckers that live in shacks, like the ones living in Wolf County, Kentucky. The people that do not have a pot to piss in, voting for those that never have worked for them, do not care about them, and never will care about them. So, on top of all that, and I had enough to say about Facebook and social media, and their corporate fascism of censorship by screwing people that reveal a little bit too much truth. Okay, other than that, happy holidays, of course, winter solstice, Yule, happy Festivus, and Merry Krampus-Day, and also Happy New Year 2018. God help us all, but you deserve to be tortured by yours truly, King Krampus. I'm serious. You really are natural born doomcuffs in the 21st century. And You all should jump into a live volcano. Take your pick. Could be Mount Etna, Mount Vesuvius, the volcano by Mexico City, the supervolcano at Yellowstone Park, Mount St. Helens. Take your pick. You're a waste of sperm. You should jump into it.